Is it something that is really going to take off, and as an industry, it's going to absolutely change our industry or change the world, or is it just another cycle in the technological trends we see in the business?
We can define a trend, but it takes a lot of time for operators to adopt it, right? I think that's been the standard problem in terms of how do you adopt or adapt to these trends, and that's been an ongoing exercise of transformation and so on. So really, from our perspective, I think we see a few things, right? One is operators are increasingly getting disillusioned about what they can do on the consumer side, because the forces which they're competing with means that they have to kind of recognize that in some areas they will be a dumb pipe, right? So that's one challenge. What we are also seeing is in terms of the cloud, right? There's also a rush mentality to enter to the cloud. And if you look at some of the operators who launched cloud earlier, they are revisiting their cloud strategy, because just like you can be a dumb pipe, you can be a dumb cloud as well, right? So in the sense that where I think the fundamental problem, and I'm sorry to talk about the cloud, is that
I want you to talk about it now.
Yeah, okay. So we look at cloud as a three-layer approach. So there is a software as a service, there is platform as a service, there is infrastructure as a service. But if you really put a 3 to 5 year hat to it, you may not find 3 layers, you may find more layers to it. And I think that is where the value will be created, right? In things like how do you say co-broke various clouds, because there will be so many cloud providers and so on. So really, I guess the challenge for both, as consulting firms and as telecom operators is to really wear a 3 to 5 year hat. We can do that. I mean, I remember, when we started off maybe 10 years back, everybody used to ask us, what is the killer app? What is the killer app on the internet, right? But today, the internet is the killer app. I mean, access to internet is what everybody wants, and you can do whatever you want on that. So I guess, it's the question is, how do you make that transition? How do you make that transformation? I guess in terms of, identifying trends, or, I think we are all probably good at it, all of us in this panel. But I think, how do we make that happen for operators, or make them make those choices is the critical question.
Is the cloud here to stay? Or is it host computing by another name? Is it, big mainframes and dumb terminals come back to haunt us again, just in a slightly more high-tech version? Is it a trend that we're going to see take over the world and revolutionize it in the same way as the internet has? What is this?
Okay, basically, I would like to say something very different. First of all, cloud is still new to us. I started my career in 1982, and I received an intensive orientation training in the first month. And I understand it is my first time to see the cloud, because they call it cloud, and this is the network. So actually, cloud is not unusual to us. So we are not really scared by cloud. Maybe some of the analysts or some of the vendors talk a lot of things that they would like us, to share our wallet for cloud. So I would like to say two things, very simple. The first thing of all is we always need to be customer-centric. And I have a critique here for the international carriers that, are we really customer-centric? Are we really customer-centric in terms of, are we really evolving our way to serve our customer, no matter it's an infrastructure, application, platform, application, whatever, that we can really evolve our business model and more operandi, for the evolving needs. So in a nutshell, what is it? It's the changing retail trend. So now they actually are, our moderator have called it, we have smartphone, we have app store, we have all the things. So that is the evolving retail market. Are we really customer-centric in terms of reviewing our service stack and also our business model, operation model, so as to make us more customer-centric? That's my first comment. The second point is B2B. What's a B2B? Not business to business. Back to the basics. Okay, we Ovum run customer satisfaction survey 2 times a year. every time we ask customers, what are the most important things you would like or you would expect your partner? Whether it is international carrier, wholesaler, or even their IT vendor partner, what they need to improve. I can let you know, it's always staying the same. I'm talking about it. Number one, fault clearing. It should be fast, it should be effective, network resilient. SLA, they're not talking about whether you can deliver SLA, but what are the penalties for SLA, delivery and things like that. So when we look at all this, actually the same. Whether we go for cloud, whether we go for managed wholesale services, or we really stick with the voice business, it's the same. It's no different. So what I would like to summarize, number one, evolve our business model and operation model really according to the changing trend in the retail market. They're now changing, they're different. From 20 years ago, we operate. It's no longer just switch voice, okay? But we literally switch voice in a more, refined manner. Okay, number two is back to the basic.